How did you first learn about boxing? Like, how did that come into your life?
I was almost a victim of being bullied. I say almost because I stuck up for myself. But
This is when you were a kid in Brownsville?
This is when I was a kid in Brownsville, and I was actually 14 years old, and I was in junior high school at the time, and this kid was, I think he tried to fight me, man, and I stuck up for myself, but I found out the same kid was going to the local boxing gym. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna get you back. But this time we're gonna fight, and we're not gonna get in trouble, and my mom's not gonna beat me, and the principal's not gonna suspend us. I think I went down 2 days later. Fell in love with the gym. I never witnessed love at first sight ever in my life until the first day I went into the gym. It was just, I felt like I needed to be there. I never felt anything like that. It was so vivid. Needless to say, man, I just was there every day. Every day. It was nothing else for us to do. It was nothing else. It was either gangs, drugs, girls, or following a path that can probably take you out of the hood.
It seems like all these things kind of align for you. You found a passion, you found something that you're really good at. You were winning fights,
right,
and things were going well, and then the universe kind of throws a blow at you.
Right.
What was your state of mind when you first heard that you were not doing so well?
This is how I know God has a purpose for me. Because I remember reading the Bible and I came across a word called meek. God said those who are meek will inherit the earth. And I was like, God, allow me to be able to become meek, be appreciative of what I have, be humble, because that's what that word means, the humble, the appreciative, the ones who will put God first. Allow me to be this. This was 2 months before I caught cancer. I prayed about becoming meek. So this was my opportunity for me to say, you know what? Even if I am cancer, even if I am paralyzed, I'm happy and I'm blessed because I'm still living. You know what I mean? So I felt like God was putting me through the test to see, okay, you want to be humble? You want to have appreciation, real appreciation for life? Here you go. Being paralyzed, not being able to take a bath, not being able to dress yourself, not being able to eat properly, having a protruding stomach full of liquid and a back with pain, and you guys could imagine, man. I was close to death.
Weren't you afraid to die?
The doctor said I was 3 days away from dying because the tumor was growing so fast that if I would have waited over the weekend, it would have slowed my heart down and I would have been dead.
So you don't fear death?
I don't fear death. I fear losing my son, and I fear my son losing me.
I understand the idea of it being a lesson,
Yeah.
But for you to have to go through that, to understand that, I just don't know how one finds the strength to go through that and then continue on and live without fear,
Yeah. Well, it didn't come easy. I had plenty of sleepless nights. I had plenty of nights where I cried, asking God why, cursing out the people closest to me, just because I was just so I didn't know what to do. I was lost, But people stuck with me. God stuck with me because they seen the bigger picture. And now I see the bigger picture. So now I'm gonna try to change the world.
As you were saying that, you're a hard worker, so it certainly came naturally to you. But, and not to be all dramatic, but July 31st, a Russian guy, Dmitry Pirog, what happened there?
Well, my grandmother died a week before the fight. I was in the hospital with her and the rest of my family. We was all around the hospital bed, and we seen her and we said our last goodbyes until the doctor pulled the plug. So for me, it was more so that I wasn't in the right mind frame of where I was supposed to be. I trained my behind off for that fight. I was in tip-top shape. We was beating guys up left and right in training camp. So I knew physically I was ready. But to lose my everything before fighting for the hardest stern test that I've had in my career, just wasn't the right time, and I lost. And I lost in the 5th round stoppage. You know, it was the most horrible time in my life. You know, losing my first match, losing my grandmother, in the fashion that it happened, both of them. It's the hardest point of my life. You know, but those things are what make me. Because, I mean, I could have easily said, you know what, I'm giving up. Especially after this cancer thing. I mean, I could have easily said I'm giving up. But all of these things are shaping me to be the man that I want to become. And nobody can ever say that I've never earned anything that I've set out to accomplish. I give a lot to this sport. You know, I give my life. I give my heart. I mean, when my son was born, I got on the flight the same day to come to Las Vegas to fight. This is what I give the sport of boxing. I don't just give a good performance in the ring. I give my life. I mean, anybody who have their child, first child, and then gets on a plane to leave their family, you know, that's hard.
Yeah.
It was hard for me to deal with that, you know, but I did it because I do it for his future.
Yeah.
So I got to do what I got to do. His graduation was today. You know, we all wanted to go out and celebrate, but Daddy had to go to the gym because my opponent doesn't care about any of that.
Yeah.
He wants me to go to all these activities. He wants me to do these things, but Daddy has a job to do. You know, Daddy has to accomplish all that he sets out to do, and I will. I'm sure of it. When people look at me and people label me as a boxer, I mean, that's just what I do. Because once boxing is over, it's going to be so many more things that I'm going to do in life. There's so many more goals that I have in life. I mean, boxing is just to get me to that platform.
Yeah.
And then once I get there, sky's the limit. Where I come from, Brownsville, I want to target there because a lot of people, I started a foundation too, but a lot of people target their foundations and they go outside of where they was raised. No, I want to go to Brownsville. I want to start a chain of juice bars everywhere because health for me is one of the most important issues in life. I'm very knowledgeable of foods now because that's my life. I have to be healthy.
Yeah.
You know, so I do want to target Brownsville in that aspect because even though Brownsville is very poor, you know, a lot of people don't have health insurance. A lot of people can't really take care of themselves, but I do want to make sure that I give them health because there's a lot of love within the community, but at the same time, there's no produce. There's no good produce. There's no juice bars. There's no healthy food. They're only convenience. That's why they call them convenience stores, you know? So I want to be able to help my people become more health conscious, to get an appreciation of life. You have to see the good, you have to see the bad. And when I travel the world, man, I just try to soak in as much knowledge as possible because you can't know everything. Life is a forever going life lesson. And I just want to learn as much as possible before God calls me. You know
Danny,
what I mean?
how old are you? You know you're not 26.
20. I guess I just been through a lot in my life. Like I feel like, you know, even when I had my son, I felt like I was mature enough to take care of him, you know, if need be by myself. But I had, you know, his mom is phenomenal. Oh man, she's the best. But I definitely think the experiences that I have growing up allowed me to be mature at this age. And the fact that I allow God to be in my life, you know, keeps me humble, keeps me sane, keeps me going.